Born to Ride is sponsored in part by Rubenstein Law, 1-800-FL-LEGAL, representing riders since 1988. Offices throughout Florida, 1-800-FL-LEGAL. If Instagram is your thing, we're there. We're everywhere. Follow us at Born to Ride Motorcycle Media, your #1 motorcycle resource.
Hi, I'm Charlie Daniels. You're watching Born to Ride.
July. It's always hot, but Crystal Harley-Davidson is making it even hotter. Saturday, July 25th, it's Christmas in July, featuring Santa's helpers, super hot bikini bike wash girls. Get your bike washed and get a photo with a bike wash babe. Are you ready to race? Win big prizes and laugh your ass off during Santa's mixed costume rally race. Visit Crystal Harley-Davidson's parts department to spin the prize wheel to win even bigger prizes. So don't miss Christmas in July, Saturday, July 25th, only at Crystal Harley-Davidson.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Born to Ride Radio. I am Dave the Flashman Morgan. By the way, Christmas in July, that happened last week up at Crystal Harley-Davidson. What a great time that was. Thanks to everybody for showing up, showing out. We actually, believe it or not, have power this week, which is a good thing. So we apologize to everybody that tuned in last week, and well, we fell just a little bit short. And joining me from over there on the West Coast, the brand spanking new, still has the plastic on him, editor, Born to Ride magazine, Dave Nichols is with us. Dave, how are you, man?
Well, still something twisted, Henry. Well, I got the plastic off now. Okay.
Oh, good,
I'm
good.
ready.
I didn't mean to wrap it so tight.
I know that make me too hot to breathe.
Oh man, hot? How hot? Hey, we got hot. It can't be hot where you're at.
102 today.
Really?
Yes, in lovely Ashland, Oregon.
Wow.
Where I am. It's a little hot, yeah.
I didn't think it got that hot in Oregon.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you betcha.
Hey, my surprise to me. Well, listen, if you got the July version of Born to Ride magazine, well, if you haven't, it's a little bit late. Still, certainly worth picking up. We've got Dave. You finally got your first a letter from the editor in there, which was amazing to see. Yeah,
that's right. And it's July issue with beautiful heaven seals on the cover and an American flag. She's even got a red, white, and blue bra on.
How about that?
Pretty amazing.
I liked it.
Yeah. Sitting on a beautiful blue soft tail.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's the first issue that I'm named as the editor of Born to Ride.
I love it, man. Yeah. So for the folks,
so we use that editor page at the front is really just to keep all the writers out there in touch with us, because the whole idea of Born to Ride is for it to be a big community of people that take care of each other and watch out for each other, and that's a big part of what we do.
Yeah.
So yeah, it starts off with the letter from the helm, where we tell you which way the ship's going.
Yeah, exactly.
And,
so we haven't really got a chance to know you. We announced that you were coming on board a couple of weeks ago, and we got Ronnie to get on the air with us and testify, as only Ron Galletti can do. And
he came on the air and he started telling people about all the things we have fixing to do down here. And I tell you, friends, it's an amazing time we've got planned for y'all.
Oh my gosh!
I don't know what just happened.
I'll tell you.
What just happened.
I don't know. I thought we changed channels there for a second. But we are certainly excited, Dave. We are certainly excited to have you as a part of the Born to Ride team, and I know that you and Ron sort of forged a relationship. So tell us a little bit. We want to get to know you a little bit better, but tell us how you and Ron first got together and met, and how all this came about.
I first met Ron and Deb many years ago at Daytona Bike Week in lovely Daytona, Florida. I was there as the editor of Easy Riders magazine. I was the editor of Easy Riders for about 25 years. And Ron interviewed me for Born to Ride TV, which has been going on for 25 years
Right.
now, amazingly.
Right.
And the thing about Born to Ride is, you know, at one point or another, Ron and in the motorcycle world, and if they haven't, they're still getting around to it. But, you know, that's how I first met them. And, you know, it was almost exactly a year ago today
Wow.
that Easy Riders Magazine, which would have been 50 years old this month.
That's unbelievable.
It was, it was sold to a Canadian company that wanted the brand to sell blue jeans. And I kid you not, Easy Riders blue jeans. And they didn't succeed. You know, it's been about a year now, and they're already gone bye-bye. And so Ron called me one day and said, hey, you know what, we're still doing Born to Ride. We're doing the magazine, both print and digital. We're doing a radio show, which we're on right now, and the TV show, and all these different things with social media, and we're doing all these things with live events. And they invited me to come on board and help to just liven things up and sort of go back to the roots of Born to Ride, about what it's about and what we're all doing here, why we love motorcycles. And then also to keep expanding things, you know, to keep moving out to other states and spread the love, brother, spread the love.
There you go. Nothing like spreading the love.
You know? Yeah. So even in this first issue, the July issue that I was involved in, you're going to start seeing a few changes. One of the things is we've got a bike feature every month, a beautiful bike feature. And the cool thing is, you know, everybody believes that their bike is the prettiest, coolest bike on the planet.
Well, of course
now
it is.
You can actually get your motorcycle in the pages of Born to Ride. And so you're going to see our friends at Rooster Rod Shop. They've got a gorgeous shovel head that you can see in there in this July issue.
Yeah.
And I write the feature myself. If you think you've got a gorgeous bike and you'd like to see it in our magazine, all you got to do is send me some pictures. You know, take that little camera in your cell phone,
Right.
take pictures of you and your bike, and email it to me at editor@borntoride.com, and we'll take a look at your motorcycle. We just had a guy do that, and he's going to get his bike featured in Born to Ride.
How about
it's
that?
easy, you know.
So you're making it.
Also,
You're making it pretty easy.
We're doing. It's pretty easy, you know, as long as your bike is still able to run. I think that would be important.
Right. Right. Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, like if you look in the July issue, that first box by Roosters is just a gorgeous motorcycle.
Yeah.
And it doesn't hurt that there's a beautiful girl on it.
Yeah, I was going to say that didn't make the bike look half bad.
Yeah, but that's like a gorgeous little Sportster that they turned into like a bobber style bike, and it's featured in Born to Ride. And the cool thing is, when it's featured in Born to Ride, it's not just in the print version, it's also in the digital version.
Right.
So hundreds of thousands of bikers get to see your motorcycle in print.
Right.
You know?
Well, you know, that's the great thing, and we talk about it all the time. BornToRide.com has all of the biker media available to you. You can check out the past shows, the past TV shows, like you mentioned. 25 years running strong. There's a lot of the Born to Ride stuff out of the vault. There's just tons and tons of great content at BornToRide.com. Again, and if you haven't got your hands on the paper copy, you can definitely go to BornToRide.com and check out the pages digitally right there on your computer.
Absolutely, and you can watch the TV series. You can watch, the radio shows. You can check out all the back issues of magazines. It's pretty terrific.
Yeah.
And another thing we're doing is a little piece called Biker History, because there's a whole generation out there that may not know the difference between a panhead and a bedpan. And
right.
we're going to make sure you do know.
Right. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right
Yeah.
on that. So, give us a little bit more of your history with the with Born to Ride or not Born to Ride, but with Easy Rider. How did you land that gig?
Well, honestly, this is a amazing story. I was the producer of a radio show called American Top 40.
Oh, I think a few people may have heard of that one. Didn't they just celebrate? What was it, 50 years?
Yes.
Unreal.
Yeah, and so American Top 40 at the time was the biggest syndicated radio show in the world.
Right.
It was on Armed Forces Radio all over the world and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a top 10 hit by Joan Jett and the Blackhearts.
Right.
And we had run out. She had been in the top 10 for so many weeks, we had run out of stories to tell about her. But I happened to be a loyal reader of Outlaw Biker, which is out of the Northeast.
Gotcha.
And there's Joan Jett was on the cover.
Wow.
And so we did a bump to the commercial that went something like, next step in the countdown, we've got a beautiful lady who's in the top 10. She's been on television. She's been in movies. This month she's on the cover of a magazine, but it's not Vogue. Find out who it is right after this. Went to commercial, came back and said, it's Joan Jett. She's on the cover of Outlaw Biker magazine. Well, so when we would do that, if we talked about, let's say, Born to Ride magazine,
right,
we would send you a copy. We'd send out a copy and make sure that you got to hear the reference in the radio show.
Uh-huh.
Lo and behold, I got a call from Casey Exton, who was the publisher, and he said, did you write that? And I said, yes. He said, you know the difference between a knucklehead and a... Yes. And I said, so he started using me as a correspondent on the West Coast because he didn't have anybody.
Wow.
And I did a magazine called Outlaw Biker Wild West. And it was a West Coast version of the biker scene. And I actually had the opportunity to take a copy of that over to Easy Riders, and I met Keith Ball and Kim Peterson and Rip and all of the classic guys from Easy Riders magazine. I'd always wanted to, I was a big fan, you know, I wanted to meet them.
Right.
And I used the magazine as an excuse to meet them.
Right.
And Keith Ball said, you want a job? I said, what?
Why
and
not?
I was under contract at the time with ABC, but I said, you know, I'll be out of the contract in March. And he said, well, come see me when you do. And they hired me.
Wow.
And they hired me, and I started to help them to create magazines because at the time, you know, they were Easy Riders and In the Wind. Well, they bought Biker, and they bought Tattoo from Bob Bitchin.
Mm-hmm.
And then they wanted to start new magazines. So they had me working on 3 different magazine titles that were brand new at the time.
Right.
And man, I hit the ground running, and I was there. I've been there ever since, and had the best life anyone who loves motorcycles could imagine. Because I got to go to Sturgis. I mean, imagine they paid me to go to Sturgis. I mean, that's like the perfect life, right?
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah. So it was great, and I got to sort of steer the ship for many, many years. They sold the place.
Wow.
And, man, I'll tell you, it was just amazing to be part of motorcycle history and to be there through, you know, some pretty hard time.
Unbelievable, and I'll tell you, we've got so much more ahead, and we'll get into that coming up next. Now, you were involved not only in the magazine end of things, but you got into some of the movies and some of the other stuff as well, did you not?
Oh yeah, absolutely. They pretty much gave me free rein to try to get stuff on television.
Mm-hmm.
So I was working with a producer. Bob Beers started the Great Biker Build-Off show,
mm-hmm.
and he started the Jesse James shows. Do you remember those?
Oh yeah.
Before Monster Garage.
Oh yeah.
A show called Motorcycle Mania, and so I took the producer down to Jesse's place at West Coast Shoppers, and I said, "You see the Shark Tank? You see the pit bulls?
Right.
You see, I mean, there was all this stuff visually
Right.
that was good television."
Right.
And they met Jesse. That was like, okay, we got a show. And so that's how that came about, you know. And then when they did the Great Biker Build-Off, the producers didn't know anything about motorcycles.
Right.
So they would come to me and say, okay, who's hot, who's not? I want a young guy and an old guy, one guy from the north, one guy from the south. Well, I'd say, okay, Billy Lane, Dave Perowitz, boom, go at it. And Billy had to each build a bike, you know, and so that's kind of how that all happened. And
Unbelievable.
the beauty of it is I would get to feature those bikes in Easy Riders.
Wow.
So the cross-promotional tie-in was fantastic, you know.
Right.
And so everybody, and it also helped our bike shows because all of a sudden we had families going to our bike shows. You know, because little kids would see the commercial for the Easy Riders bike show coming to town while we were watching the Biker Build-Off show.
Wow.
And all of a sudden all these moms and dads and kids were coming to the bike show.
Unbelievable. So you got a whole new audience for the most part involved in the biker lifestyle. So you got the old bikers, you got the current bikers, and even the young bikers who were in the future bikers, I guess we'd call them.
Yeah. And, I mean, we were actually having to rent strollers at the bike show.
Who'd have thought that?
Exactly. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
So that was pretty fantastic. It was a really great time to be there because the magazine was doing great.
Yeah.
The bike shows and the motorcycle rodeos were doing great.
Yeah.
And we had all these TV shows on Discovery Channel that were sort of backing us up, you know.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, man, we are so excited to have you part of the Born to Ride team. We want to talk about where we're going next, but we're going to take a quick break real fast and come back. You guys stick around. This is Born to Ride Radio. Don't forget, borntoride.com has all of your Born to Ride multimedia stuff. We got a lot of folks that are checking in on Facebook. Finally figured out how to do the watch party, so everybody's checking us out tonight. We've got Dave Nichols, our new editor, formerly 25 years with Easy Rider magazine, and much, much more. We'll dig a little bit more into getting to know Dave coming up next. It's Born to Ride Radio. Don't move. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm attorney Rebecca Witt from Rubenstein Law, and this is Rubenstein's Rules for Personal Injury. Rule number 11, truck accidents require special attention. Sometimes drivers are put in a difficult position and accidents happen. Driving without sleep can be as dangerous as drunk driving. Evidence needs to be preserved for inspection without delay. Some trucking companies hide insurance, but we know how to find it.
For all these rules and more, go to rubensteinlaw.com.
Born to Ride is a multimedia marketing and promotional machine with TV, magazines, streaming radio, and internet advertising opportunities. There are tens of thousands of motorcycles. We reach the people who ride them. Born to Ride. Find out more at borntoride.com.
Welcome back to Born to Ride Radio. We do it for you every Tuesday night from 7 to 8. We actually have power this week, so it's a good thing. We got the show up. I've got our brand spanking new editor from Born to Ride. Dave Nichols is on the line. He's way out west where it's actually hot.
Yes. Stop spanking me.
Right. So again, man, it's so glad to have you on board with the team. You know, I've been with Ronnie now for probably 12 to 15 years. I quit counting. I can tell you this: I have watched his kids pretty much grow up in the biker lifestyle. You know, hosting a lot of the bike events, getting the Born to Ride radio thing kind of started back in the day when I was doing the Rock and Road show with him, and we would take the trailer out. And at the time, it was kind of funny because we were waiting on the technology to catch up to the podcasting. You know, we could get on as long as folks had a decent high-speed internet. But you know how it was in the beginning stages; it was choppy and it was a little bit rough. But we were pioneering and getting some things together, and that's one of the things that I've always admired about Ron and Debbie. Is always being on the cutting edge. And I had come to Ron with this idea. I was sort of between radio gigs, and I said, you know, I've got to have an outlet to do radio. And I'm also an avid motorcycle rider. You are a motorcycle multimedia machine. Let's put something together and let's try this thing out. So Ron actually had given me access to one of his old trailers that had, you know, that you would sell the shirts and all of the things like that. And we outfitted it up with a computer and put some little webcams up, and we were taking it out to these bike events and showing, you know, the folks that couldn't get out there, or, you know, folks like you that are, you know, are not in the area but wanted to be a part of it, to be able to check it out on your phone and check it out. And thus the sort of the Born to Ride radio thing was launched, and it sort of complemented the magazine and 25 years of television and everything that sort of made it the multimedia, rounded it out, if you were. And yeah. I'm telling you, man, when he told me about you coming on board, and I'm like, man, this is going to be just what a great fit, because you're another one of those guys that's on the cutting edge and keeping up with the latest trends and able to apply it to what we've got going on in the biker lifestyle.
Absolutely. You know, and there are so many ways now to use the technology to our benefit.
Yes.
To reach more riders out there. Mm-hmm. And that's a much easier thing now than it used to be. We've reached that time of convergence where you can have streaming video in real time, and, you know, anybody can have a show if they want to. So it's a perfect time. It's a great way for us to expand and bigger audience and really reach people. And also, you know, I'm big on spreading the history of the biker culture. You know, mm-hmm. We're starting a new thing in the magazine that's Biker Legends, where every month there's a person who has just been very influential in the biker community. Mm-hmm. You know, and it doesn't have to be someone who's 80 years old who's been there and you know, had their whole life. I mean, there will be plenty of that, but the first one we did is Jody Perowitz in the July issue.
Right.
You know, and she is like the fastest woman on two wheels right now.
Yeah. And
so there's a great story about Jody, and there'll be, you know, next month's issue we've got Pete Hill. He's, you know, has been racing forever.
Right,
know?
Right.
So there's going to be a lot more interesting stories in there for people to maybe find out stuff they didn't know about the motorcycle industry and the biker culture, you know. So I think that's going to be really fun. And I have to tell you this, Bosh, is what really drew me to Born to Ride, and you know this yourself, mm-hmm. is that Ron and Deb are known throughout the entire South. They are known for their loyalty.
Yeah.
They're a class act.
Yeah.
You know, and they're just genuine, real people. And it's like, I'm really proud to be a part of it because they're good people.
Yep.
You know, they're
Yep.
our kind of people. And that's really important. They're not here to make a bunch of money. They're here to try to provide a real service to the riding community. You know.
Well,
so
you know,
I'm
one of the things that you know, we were talking about before we took the break was how you brought, you know, the next thing you know, you were doing these events and moms and dads were bringing their kids out. If you flip to every edition of the Born to Ride magazine, there's a Born to Ride Kids section in the back.
Yes.
And that, to me, that speaks leaps and bounds. And also the way things are written. And again, this is another reason why I say that you are such a great fit to the Born to Ride family, is because it's not just a motorcycle advertising magazine. Sure, we've got the ads at them because, of course, that keeps the lights on. But, you know, one of the well, as a matter of fact, after we get finished talking with you, I'm going to bring Nefarious James on. He's standing by, waiting in the wings, because the article that he wrote in this particular the July issue, and if folks, if you haven't picked it up or you are able to get on and see it digitally, it moved me. It moved me so much that I've got a story that I'm going to share with him. I'm sure you'll be listening after that. I'm going to save for something that I had to do after I read his article, and it's in regards to our American flag. But what a powerful, powerful piece. So it's about, you know, we say it, it's about motorcycles and the people that ride them. And it gets so in depth, and, you know, reading some of the things that you've put out and some of the things that you're going to bring to the table, man, I'm super excited.
Well, I'll tell you, there is an article for the August issue, and I just want to, if I could, just give you a short piece of it.
Okay.
Just to give an idea.
Get the juices flowing.
Because with everything,
just to get the juices flowing.
Yeah. He says, with everything going on in the world today, it's not difficult to get lost in the stress of the moment. We read headlines or social media and immediately become reactionary to what we read or see. This is by design. It's really not that hard to get massive amounts of people to react the way you want them to. Before flying off the deep end and getting that blood pressure up, remember this important fact. Every photo has multiple angles. The trick is to find the picture with the truth exposed. Every one of us has been the victim of a bad angle.
Yeah.
You're at a party and not drinking, but somehow there's a photo of you that looks like you're wasted, all because you got caught in the middle of blinking or your eyes shut or yawning. Drama sells ads. Newspapers and social media love advertising. The angrier they can make you, the more sensational they can make the situation.
Wow.
And, you know, it's just like he's just a regular, real guy. He's just a normal writer like you and me that gets to say what all of us have been thinking.
That's it. You hit that right on the head. And, you know, I've had him on the show, and I can't wait to get him back in here again, because when I first met him, you know, he walks to the door, and he is one big burly biker, man. And you think, well, I hope I make it out alive. But when you sit down and you get to and you get to know this guy, he is by far one of the brightest human beings that I've ever had the honor of having on my show and interviewing. And I love having him. And we've had him back twice. And he put it right out there. He said, folks, let me tell you, before we even get the show started, you may be offended by what I tell you. And if I make you mad, well, I apologize. Or maybe I don't apologize. But it's just the way I see it, and it's the way I feel. And you're absolutely right, man. He tells it like it is. And just those words that you just read, he tells it in a way that you go, wow, you're right.
Well, and you know what? How cool is it that Born to Ride gives people a voice? Gives bikers a voice.
Yes.
You know, this is a regular guy. This is a regular rider like you and me. and he's got a monthly column in Born to Ride. How cool is that?
Yep. And you see it all through the pages. You see Spike and Mike. You see, you see it at all the events. They're in your face with the cameras. You see it on I believe that to be why the 25-year run of the television show has been so successful, because you see you see the average people that are so proud of their motorcycles and proud to be at these events and proud to show them off, and they get the opportunity to do it. You almost guaranteed that you'll see yourself on Born to Ride TV every Sunday night. People set their DVRs or they stay up late to watch it after the news. It's just a great outlet for motorcycles and the people that ride them, as we say.
And also in the magazine. If you were at an event, you might just see yourself in the magazine.
Yes.
How cool is that?
It's great.
It's pretty great.
It's great. I mean, I just wish they weren't so expensive to get one. Oh, wait a minute, they're free.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that kind of makes it easy for folks, the beauty of it too is it doesn't matter where you live. If you're in where I am in Oregon, you can still subscribe to Born to Ride. You just go to borntoride.com and you can get the magazine sent to you by a brown sheet tonight, no matter where you live.
Yep. Well, I'll tell you, man, it really is pretty cool to think that we started out here in the local Tampa Bay area, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Clearwater, this Sarasota, Bradenton, even. But man, think about where Born to Ride has gone. I mean, we are seriously all down the southeast now.
Right.
And growing.
Right, and we're going to keep expanding. We're going to keep expanding, but we're not going to go big. We're just going to be the exact same, humble company that Ron and Deb have always kept it. We're just going to try to reach more people.
Yeah. And why not?
I was born in North Carolina, and I grew up in North Miami Beach. So, I know the riders, and we had most of our bike shows were in the South.
Yeah.
Well, one of our biggest ones was in Charlotte, And in a few weeks, we're probably going to have Shannon Davidson come on the radio with us. He is a great custom bagger builder out of Charlotte.
Say that you broke up. Who is that?
Come on and Shannon Davidson from the Chop Shop.
Okay.
We're going to start having builders and different people come on and tell us what they do and spread that love.
And that's another great thing. I mean, you certainly get the education of the thing, but you also going back in. I mean, one of the main reasons we read the biker magazines is because we love our motorcycles, and there are plenty of pieces on motorcycles, and like you say, on how these bikes are constructed, and how these bikes are built, and the pride that goes into some of these motorcycles. I mean, we do all these things. We got, as a matter of fact, one of the guys that normally ends the show with a positive note, the Squirrel, avid motorcycle builder, and man, let me just tell you, some of the things we were doing the show when I first took the show back over. We were doing the show at a bar up in North Tampa, and the first time I met Squirrel, he showed up on a bike that he had built. And it's much like the bike that's featured in the magazine from Roosters, but we from Roosters, and we did a burnout contest, and he burned the tire off that thing. But he builds them. He says, "I build them to ride them, but they're just so cool to actually look at." And I mean, he's got pieces of chain and just the different things that you look at this thing and go, "Does it even run?" And then he burns the tire right off the back of the doggone thing. But
it's rolling art.
Yeah,
it's rolling art.
It really is, and
so it's so important to not only preserve our lifestyle and to spread it out and to invite a whole new generation in. But it's also, when this whole COVID thing is over with, bikers are going to want nothing more than throw their leg over their scooter and go for a ride, and we're going to help them with that too, because we've got ideas for events. We've got ideas for really some cool things, like imagine if you went to a biker event,
right,
and there was a great big tent, and the tent said Born to Ride Roadhouse on it.
Yep.
And you could get great food and drink there, and live music, and pretty girls serving you the drink.
Right.
And you could get your oil changed while you wait, and you could buy a Born to Ride T-shirt. And the cool thing is, when the event's over, the tent moves on, just like the Ringling Brothers Circus came down.
That would just
and
be
you
horrible.
Had one hell of a good.
That would just be horrible.
Yep, that's one of the things we're talking about. And that's just one of the things. I mean, we've got a lot of great plans to just, do exactly what we're doing, but just more of it.
Well, Dave, how deep can you get? Because, I don't want to spoil the surprise or, for a lot of folks, but give us some of the secrets, man. I know you and Ron have been talking behind closed doors, you and Debbie and all those. Give us a little hint of some of the other cool things that we can be expecting from the Born to Ride family, because I'm going to be right there backing you guys up with it.
Absolutely, yeah, and we appreciate you so much for doing what you do every week in and week out. But we're talking with some major companies in a lot of different areas of the biker world, so that we can really be more effective in every single thing that we do, and branch out a little bit, maybe go into some new areas that we're not currently in.
Right.
Maybe create new things. We're even talking about a biker-themed cruise, which would be very cool. You actually could take your motorcycle on a cruise ship.
Yeah.
How would that be,
Right. Yeah, I know we were talking about that until this damn COVID thing kind of screwed it up for us.
Yep. Well, this will pass. My friends, hang in there, because this too shall pass.
Yeah.
And then we will be out there riding our motorcycles and having a good time. And I tell people, you know what? On a motorcycle, you can social distance because it's just you and your machine.
Yeah. and your face mask could be your helmet, so if you so desire.
That's right. That's right. So, as soon as this thing goes over, we're all out there enjoying biker rallies and runs again, there's a whole world of things that we can do. And one of the things is, as different companies have folded, and I'm very sorry to say that American Iron Magazine is no more. We're talking about, there's only a handful of dedicated biker lifestyle companies, media companies, that still exist.
Right.
And we're all friends. We know each other.
Yep.
And there are things that we can do, in the events area.
Yep.
There's no Easy Riders bike show. There's no Easy Riders motorcycle rodeos. But that's not to say that Born to Ride can't reinvent those things in a whole new way.
Why not?
So people can have a great time out there doing what they love most.
Why not?
You get to ride your motorcycle. You have a great destination to go to, and really fun things to do when you get there.
How about it?
So all of that's a big part of the plan.
So if we can get personal with you for just a second, Dave, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but what kind of bike do you ride? Not that personal, Dave. I don't know you that well yet.
I thought you wanted to. I know what kind of bike.
Yeah, what do you like to ride? What do you prefer? What do you put between your legs there and get on the open road with?
Well, I'm still in the place where I like to have one really cool chopper,
right,
and one touring bike, so that no matter what your needs are,
right,
you can get on your bike and go.
The best of both worlds.
Beautiful, yeah. I've got a beautiful Denver's chopper,
right,
that Mondo from Denver built for me with an accurate engineering. Barry Wardlow built a gorgeous panhead motor to that bike.
Nice.
And it's a 16-over Springer. The thing about Mondo's bikes is you can turn that Springer all the way and just do little circles in the parking lot. It's perfectly balanced, light, gorgeous bike. And then the other bike, this is kind of funny. It's a 1999 first year of the twin cam motor Road Glide.
Nice.
That Tom from Damon's did a great paint job. It's really subtle.
Right.
If you see the bike, it looks like it might be dark blue or something. But you get up close to it, and there's all these ghost flames in there.
Oh, nice.
Change color and walk around it. You know.
We're going to have some pictures here for the next time you're on the show.
Yeah, and I've also got a first year shovel head, a 66 FLH that's pretty much going stock. It's just the way God intended them to look, you know.
Nice.
And so I've got that's my antique bike.
Love it, love it, man, love it. Well, Dave, listen, man, it is a pleasure to have you on the show. It's a pleasure to get to know you, and I'm sure that we're going to get way farther into this relationship with Born to Ride, and very, very excited to have you on board and to also have you involved with a lot of cool things that are going to be coming in the near future with all of us here at Born to Ride, man. Welcome to the team.
Thank you. I feel like I'm part of the family.
You are, man. You are. We feel that way as well.
All right, well, have fun with Nefarious James, brother, and I'll be talking to you soon.
All right, we will be back in moments with Nefarious James. Dave, we will catch up with you soon. This is Born to Ride Radio. Don't move.
Duke's Brewhouse Lakeland, the hottest, newest place everyone is talking about, invites you to Bike Night, first Wednesday of every month, 6 to 9 p.m. Ride your motorcycle and get 15% off your meal at Bike Night. That's 15% off your meal at Bike Night. Speaking of food, it's the best in town with the hottest servers anywhere. Wing Wars? Duke's wins every time. So don't miss Bike Night. Duke's Brewhouse, Lakeland. It's the first Wednesday of every month. Brought to you by Born to Ride TV and Magazine and Rubenstein Law.
For all those people that are all smartened up talking Kiz, Arnie, and K-Fizz, Abe, and they know what's going on. What you gonna do when Born to Ride runs wild on you, brother?
And we are back. It's Born to Ride Radio. It's a Flash Man here. Don't forget, lots of cool stuff happening at borntoride.com. It's a complete multimedia whole thing, man. So, I mean, check out you can check out the Born to Ride Babes. You can check out motorcycle tips. There's just all kinds of stuff that you can check out at borntoride.com. You can get the latest magazine. I know COVID's got everybody scared to go out every here and again. So if that happens to be you, well, you can get on borntoride.com and check out the magazine virtually. And if you haven't done so, you need to get on to borntoride.com, and you need to pick your latest copy up. Flip to the page where Nefarious James is. And speaking of that, that'd be page 10. And I got Nefarious on the line with me now. James, how are you, brother? Good to see you, or good to hear you, I guess I should say.
Yeah, they're in kind of like figment of your imagination, but I'm here.
Yeah, that's good. It's good, man. When are we going to get to see you again, man? Everybody's been asking when you're coming back to get on the show with me.
Yeah, we'll have to end up doing that soon. Had a couple of delays there as far as my traveling and whatnot.
Uh-oh.
I think we got it all squared away now, and
hoping
to be able to make a trip up there again.
Something just happened to your phone, James. Did you move? You're gonna have to roll back. You're gonna have to roll back over or something. Throw some antennas, some tin foil on your antenna.
Yeah, sorry about that. I got a really horrible connection.
There you go. Well, you're good now. Don't move.
Oh, I'm not. I just had to stand in the middle of the road, so I had to let a car go by.
I got you. You got to let the car go by. You got to do that. You got to do that every now and again. But, dude, listen, honest to God, I got to tell you, I picked up the magazine, and I read the I'm an American, of course, for the 4th of July version. And I immediately, as soon as the show was over, I went straight down to Home Depot, and I picked up a brand new American flag to replace the one that I had flying over the Metal Mansion. It was I had to do it after reading that thing, dude. Honest to God, I was completely moved by this article you wrote. Amazing.
Well, it's good to hear. You know, I mean, a lot of people nowadays they're forgetting what this flag's been through.
Yeah.
You know, whatever you've done. There's a lot of people out there throughout the world. When they protest, they wave our flag.
Right.
You know, unlike here, where they protest here, and, well, you already know the rags that they're throwing in the air.
Right.
It's like, are you freaking kidding me? Those didn't give you what you have the right to do now.
Right.
So right then and there, the audacity of that alone is just unreal.
Well, I definitely wanted to just give you the floor for this segment of the show because, you know, again, like I was saying, I read this. It's titled "I Am an American." If you haven't, and it's basically talking about what you feel, your thoughts, and you know, I don't know if you've been listening to the show up until we called, but me and the Chopper Daddy, our new editor Dave Nichols, were talking about how powerful your articles are, and I'm, you know, and how when you came on the show the very first time, we turned the mics on, and I loved how you prefaced everything, and you said, look, there may be some things that I say that are going to offend you, but it is how I feel, and I love the way you tell it like it is. So, you know, again, I just wanted to give you the floor for this, and tell me how you came up with your thoughts on this article.
Well, it actually kind of stems from with some stuff. I ended up I ran a little illness there, and during that time, I spent a lot of times on Netflix, like a lot of other people, watching movies and whatnot.
Uh-huh.
And they had a lot of series on there about World War II in color, World War II in HD. It was like, oh my God, how much more World War II? But
right.
I watched them. I watched every episode of these things, and every single time, everything that was over there that drove these men was that flag.
Uh-huh.
So, you know, you take a look at that and what that means and what that makes people do.
Right.
As far as, you know, infusing them with what they need to move forward. You can't beat that. You can't buy that.
No.
You know, this is something that, you know, you grow up with. And, you know, if you were brought up right and you were actually, you know, looking at what it is other than a lawn ornament, other than what it is to strap on your car, you know, it represents so much more.
Mm-hmm.
So much more.
Yeah.
And there's a video that's out there on YouTube and whatnot. Red Skelton. I don't know if you remember him.
Yes.
A lot of people did.
Yes.
Outstanding speaker.
Yes.
He gave a speech about the flag.
God, it's so funny. It's so funny that you mentioned that because when I was working in radio, I used to play the Red Skelton bit on the air every year for the 4th of July during the fireworks show. Our station was responsible for playing the big downtown fireworks. We would supply the music live, and they would actually choreograph the fireworks to our music. And that was one of the things that we used to play every year was the Red Skelton bit. And when I read this article, that's what it reminded me of. It's so crazy.
Yeah, I mean, the way he presented it.
Yeah.
The way he presented it, the way he ended up speaking about it, the passion he had in his voice about it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you don't beat that. You just can't.
No.
It's just everything about it. You know, if you're really listening to the content instead of, you know, looking at them and whatnot, I mean, it's just a phenomenal piece.
Right.
That I think everybody should at least see once.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
a couple other ones that are out there that I like that, but that one right there, that has always stood out in my mind, and I've watched it so many times.
Yeah.
Because like you were saying, you guys played it on the 4th of July and whatnot. I mean, I usually do it anytime veteran stuff. I mean, I did stuff with the Patriot Guard for a long time.
Yeah.
Escorting soldiers. And you just see what's given in the name of what the flag represents.
Right.
You just you just can't beat that. You can't beat that kind of love.
Well, I'll tell you what, in another thing that happened with me after, reading it, I mean, again, because it was 4th of July and you were talking about the flag, but when you're getting into to the men and the women in our armed forces and even our local law enforcement and our, the people here that are fighting for our flag, these people, these men and women that are putting their lives on the line for us overseas to make sure that you and I can do a radio show on a Tuesday night, that we can get out and ride our motorcycles on the weekends and do whatever it is that we do to enjoy the freedoms that we have as Americans, as you put it. Not a white American, not an African American, not a Mexican American, not an Italian American, but an American. And what people risk and what people do to get into our country so that they can enjoy the freedoms that we have. Dude, I was so moved by that I, honest to God, I got another flag, and I put a brand new flag up after I read your article.
Right on. Yeah, because people seem to forget. I mean, we've got men and women stationed in places we've never heard of before,
and don't want
doing
to.
Things. No, we don't want to know. Because it's like it's like Jack Nicholson. You can't handle the truth. Well, a lot of them you can't.
Right.
Because some of the stuff people are having to do, some of the places they're having to stand, some of the things they're having to do to represent us and to represent democracy, you don't want to know most of the stuff that they're having to do, because you know what? A lot of people would end up being, oh my God, I'm too sensitive for that. I'm just gonna go watch 60 Minutes where they'll tell me the truth. Anyway, you sit there and you look at that and you're just like, wow. So you want to look at one point of view. You want to turn on your news station. You want to believe everything you're being told.
Yeah.
Well, hell, man, I might as well get myself a news station, get myself some sponsors, and I'll tell you all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, right.
My time is done. We've already landed on Mars and we're mowing the lawn.
Right. Exactly. Well, one of the things too that stands out from the last time you were here, you and I got in depth in the conversation about doing your due diligence. About something that you hear, whether it's a rumor, whether it's the truth, whether it's truth to you or false to you, and how you perceive it. Don't just believe what you read on the internet and what people are telling you. Get out and research it, man. I mean, we all can read. We all can get on and research things, and there's things that you can read, and there's places that you can go and compare notes and see what the truth is.
Oh, absolutely. We've gotten too complacent in doing our own research.
Yeah.
We don't want to read anymore. If it's not on video, we don't want to know about it. We've stopped reading books. We've stopped reading, everything that's on there. I mean, to the point where it's like, if you're not even concerned enough to take a look at the medications that you're taking,
right,
to find out what your side effects are doing. I mean, how many people do you think would voluntarily take something that creates anal leakage? It's not like you would want to do that.
Exactly.
But they don't read the labels, so they don't know.
Exactly.
And that's the problem, where we've just turned a blind eye. We've gotten lazy. We don't want to end up picking something up, and we don't want to read.
Right.
And realistically, I mean, to the point where, I mean, like they want to get rid of using, script as far as in the, right and whatnot.
Yeah.
How do you expect to be able to read the Constitution? It's written in script.
Right.
So
right.
So what are you going to do,
man? Guys, I'm telling you, folks, I'm telling you right now, if you haven't got a chance to read this article, it will, especially in lieu of everything that's going on in the world. Every time you turn on the TV, from COVID-19 to riots in the streets to people defacing public property just for the sake of doing it, I can't help but think that, and that's exactly the first thing that came to mind reading this thing about the flag is our men and women are overseas. They would just be ashamed at what's going on in the world today, knowing that that's what they're, putting their lives on the line for.
Well, it's not only, it doesn't only end there. It also comes down to, is like, as far as I'm concerned, every American has a personal responsibility as well. We're to make sure that this country is the way that they left it when they left, so they can come back and enjoy the same freedoms that they're defending.
Right.
If we don't end up protecting what they are fighting for here domestically, then why would you want to bother going overseas to do something to come back to what we've got going on now?
What the hell's the purpose? Yeah, you're absolutely right, man. You're absolutely right. Well, brother, Listen, man, it is always a pleasure having you. I can't wait to get you back in here, man. When you think you can make it back up?
I'm hoping it'll be real soon. Maybe even as soon as within the next week or 2 weeks.
Okay.
We'll see what ends up happening as far as work schedule and everything else. But I definitely want to get back up there and get some FaceTime with you.
Definitely, brother.
And have a lot of fun with it.
You know, you got an open door policy at this place. You can get in here and do it anytime you want to, man. We always love having you. I love your point of view, man. And I'll tell you, Dave and I were talking, and again, I don't know if you heard it or not, but he sort of gave us a little preview of what you wrote for next month, and I cannot wait to get it in my hands and read the whole thing.
Well, you know, as I've always ended up saying, if it wasn't, you know, we'll just put this right there, not to kiss Ron's ass, but it comes down to I'm very grateful for the platform he's awarded us to be able to go and do this in the first place, because people wouldn't be able to hear my smart-ass comments if it didn't have this platform to do it.
How about it, brother?
People have multiple views about multiple things.
Yep.
And if you don't end up having that spice of life, which is, of course, the variety, you know, how are you going to be able to look at anything but one person's point of view? And luckily for us, they give us that venue to be able to do that, and I'm very grateful for them to be able to do that for us.
Yeah, without a doubt, man, and we're certainly happy to have your point of view in there. But yeah, that's one of the beautiful things with Born to Ride is it gives all of us a platform to sort of voice our opinion.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Right,
you guys keep rocking, man. I appreciate the time, and thanks for having me on. And we'll end up having to do this again real soon.
Yes, indeed, it's our pleasure, brother, and we will catch up with you soon, man. Stay safe.
All right, you take care. Bye.
We will. Nefarious James, check his article out in the latest Born to Ride magazine, even if you get it digitally. It is amazing. It will certainly open your eyes and make you think about a lot of the things that are happening in our world today and the future, for that matter. That's all the time we've got for this week's show. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you for sharing and caring, and we will see you out on the open road. Make sure you check out all the rest of my content at FlashEntertainmentNetwork.com. Got a list of all of the content that I'm a part of, and, of course, all of the Born to Ride stuff as well. And listen, guys, we will see you same time next week right here on Born to Ride Radio. We'll see you guys next week. Have a great week, y'all.
Are you down with the nation? Tiny Trailer Nation, the biggest secret in travel and adventure. Take your motorcycle anywhere. Live in comfort on the spot. Say goodbye to hotel cost. Campers, toy haulers, themed trailers built for any budget. One bike or two. Includes electric, water hookups, microwave, refrigerator, sink, tie downs, and more. Your trailer or ours, new or used. Your dream is here at a working man's price. Tiny Trailer Nation, biker musician owned, a name you can trust.
Is your business becoming invisible? Create a great advertising relationship today with Born to Ride. Call 888-795-5779.
Yeah, I have to say, Born to Ride has been a big influence on my trailer sales in the last 2 or 3 months. It's been nothing but a big surprise. I mean, the magazine articles, everything in the commercials, it's been nothing but the best of help to me in my business.